Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we'll be taking a look at these Zer's, inventories, random rolls, and my recommendations for March 19, 2021. You can find him in his regular location on Nessus. Just head over to the Watcher's Grave, and you can find him on his regular branch in this tree. Right over here, right there. This is a high overview of everything he has available in case this is what you wanted. And right off the bat, I'm really liking these two options, and I'll tell you why. First and foremost, for the weapon today, we have the Trinity Ghoul. If you've never heard of this weapon before, it is a very fun weapon. Its main perk, Split Electrons, fires an arrow that splits when released, splits into 3 arrows that go horizontal, and aiming down sights and fully drawing the bow back both decrease the spread, allowing you to get very precise shots with this 3-shot weapon. And with that, there's also Lightning Rod, the more important perk in my opinion, the exotic trait. Precision kills grant the next shot chain lightning capabilities. Now, getting a headshot and then getting this lightning effect allowing you to shoot at the ground and hit 3 enemies nearby was already fun, but it wasn't really game breaking. Whenever you get the catalyst, it makes it so Lightning Rod then triggers on any arc damage final blow. This includes body shots, this includes weapons from your heavy slot, this includes your arc abilities from your arc subclass. It also includes the Lightning Rod effect. So if you get a kill with your Lightning Rod, you get another Lightning Rod, which makes it so much fun. And again, you can literally shoot at the floor near an enemy and still kill 3 enemies on accident. Again, triggering Lightning Rod, allowing you to get more Lightning Rod, which Lightning Rod also does more damage, allowing you to do decent damage whenever you chain lightning on multiple elite enemies. This is a weapon that I would definitely say is a lot of fun, definitely in like the S or A tier of fun, and I would highly recommend it if you've never tried it. It is a bit clunky without the catalyst, but when you get it, it is so much fun. As far as efficacy goes, I would not really use it in a master or above kind of nightfall. Still, bows don't really have too much of a place other than their insane range, which is a place, but not really something I like. Up next for the Hunter exotic, we have the Aeon Swift, and any other time, any other season, I would have given these a swift kick in the nuts. However, this season, Aeon and all of the Aeon exotics, one for each of the different classes, I would probably even put them at top 5 exotics for every single class. If you did not know, they completely revamped and completely changed their exotic perk, allowing for this new Aeon Cult mod slot, allowing you to get a number of crazy bonuses just by having this Aeon armor equipped with that mod, and then extra bonuses if you also have a teammate with those exotic arms with a different mod. And honestly, all of these will be something that could be very useful in Grandmaster Nightfalls. My personal favorite is going to be Insight, or Sect of Insight. My personal favorite is going to be Sect of Insight, allowing you to finish an elite for special ammo or finish a boss, mini boss, i.e. champions, for heavy ammo. Now, it's a very small amount of heavy ammo. It's like the small package, and it's only for your fire team, but that's so good. If you guys remember Spoils of War from last season, ability to spawn a heavy brick off of a kill without using your super, and just the ability to just use 6 or something in your subclass or class item, it's so good. And this is an exotic that will stick around forever and allows you to have these crazy combinations of ability generation, super generation, ammo, extra weapon damage, healing, so many good things, and I would highly recommend it. I have not yet technically used it in a Grandmaster Nightfall, but I look forward to it, and I would recommend it. As far as the roll goes, I'm not a big fan of the roll. Obviously, it is a higher stat roll of 62, probably higher than most people have. Most people probably just forsook this exotic because it really sucked. And also, it has a higher resilience, which is not really something that's that interesting. So not a good roll, but probably better than most of the ones that you have. Up next, we have the this is the default color, really? Up next for the Kephri's Horn, much better. This exotic kind of sucks. If you've never heard of it, solar damage kills, any solar damage kills, recharge your barricade, which is a very dependable and easy way to get your barricade, and barricades can be useful. And whenever you use your barricade, it unleashes a blast of solar energy when summoned. It's a double blast, so it shoots out a solar like thermite blast, and then that blast comes back, and can technically do enough to kill a guardian from maximum health if it gets hit by both of the solar attacks. The issue is it's not really that big. You have to zone people in a doorway or a hallway, and most people just walk out of the way before the second blast hits. and they can just jump over it too. I think they definitely need to revamp this exotic. It's not the worst exotic in the game. I think that perhaps the Sanguine alchemy is probably the worst exotic in the game, but they could definitely revamp it to have a few more interactions with solar. Maybe you can buff your solar abilities on using your barricade, or maybe it creates a sunspot from the barricade. I don't know, something that would be interesting and work well with the subclasses. As far as the role goes, honestly, it has a pretty good role. So bad, just turn around. It has a pretty good roll, good recovery, good strength, both good for a Titan, and a high stat roll of 65. And also not really that high resilience, which is not synergetic, but you could easily compensate resilience with some other stuff. It is Titan armor, for example. You have plenty of resilience option. And finally, for the Warlike exotic, probably one of the worst exotics in the game, probably second only to the Promethean Spurs, because those things are just hot doo-doo. I don't know when I would ever use that exotic, and definitely taking a higher spot on worst exotic because Aeons did get buffed. Now, if you've never heard of this exotic, it actually used to be, before they changed it, a low-key one-eyed mask, allowing you to see through walls or enemies through walls inside your rift, which was so strong, but nobody ever talked about it until the one-eyed mask got nerfed, and then it got nerfed as well. The new perk, Blood Magic, while standing in a rift, pause the rift's countdown, extending the duration. Further kills maintain and extend the length of the pause. Now, this is a pause. It is not an extra amount of time. If it's at 5 seconds, you get a kill, it will stay at 5 seconds for the remainder of Blood Magic, which will also be another buff on your character. Now, the issue here is that you don't really usually want a longer rift. Staying in one spot for a longer period of time, usually you'd use something like Attunement of Grace, which allows you to get infinite rift uptime anyways if you have a teammate in it. And finally, it does not work with a well. I think they should change this to make it work with a well. I think they should change it to make it even better than that. Maybe make every rift that's healing also empowering. I don't know what. But I do know that this is really bad, and even if it did work with a well, it would still not be a top 5 exotic. I would still use Phoenix Protocol over it, but it would definitely be more useful. As far as the roll goes, it actually has a pretty good roll. High total stats of 64, recovery is up there and it is synergetic with its rift stuff. I would like to see more intellect stuff on it, but overall, pretty good roll for an absolute trash exotic. That, you can tell Bungie doesn't care about it because it has no exotic or ornament. Ooh, shiny. Outside of that, make sure you're picking up your exotic cipher quest. If you did not know, the Xur gives you an exotic cipher quest every single week, allowing you to get more exotic ciphers for whatever you wanted to use them on. And you can just do, Crucible, Gambit, and whatever to be able to get progress. And then you can use that exotic cipher either on an exotic engram or the exotic archive, where you can get Arianas and Anarchy and whatever, right? And on top of that, I would also recommend getting the exotic engram. If you did not know, this and every single exotic engram in the game will guarantee drop with a high stat roll and guarantee you an exotic you've never received before. If you have every exotic, it will be random. This is really important when it comes to the end game. You'll notice that a lot of people have really high stat armor. This is how they're getting that really high stat armor. I'm just realizing now that my Lion Rampant's kind of trash. And I finally got a new one. Oh, wow, that recovery. It's probably better, but like, not by much. But yeah, this is how people are doing it. If you want to know how people are constantly getting really high stat roll exotics, this is how they do it. They get exotic engrams from either the season pass or from Xur, and getting more exotic ciphers allows you to continually get more exotic engrams every single week from this dude. So if I wanted to get more, I'd need a cipher. Right, well, that is going to be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, concerns, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the spiel. Make sure you come check out my live streams right after these Xur videos and all the times on screen right now. We oftentimes do open lobbies for raids, for nightfalls, for pinnacle stuff, oftentimes just going for whatever, right? Just trying to get my character going, and if you want to come join us, link to my Twitch in the description down below. And of course, as always, special shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, I want to give a big thank you to Medi Buju, Mom, Dad, Charles Williams, Joe Smith, Monday, Nelly Halpin, Steve Bachnovich, Justin Rare, Raymond Showman, Unit Panther, Cole Sherman, Casey Reagan. I almost messed it up there, but thank you for joining us on Patreon. If you want to make this harder, check a link in the description down below to my Patreon and all the other goodness inside that as well. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good, right? Anyways, my name's Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.